Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a 7 of Swords. I feel like there's a breakthrough coming. I feel like there is something that we are really trying to get on track with, something that we're looking for some sort of a mental clarity on something, right? Like I feel we're looking for a solution. What is the next step? What is the way forward? What am I supposed to do? I feel like there's a lot of questions with this card, yeah. And I feel like we're kind of looking for a particular answer, but when we get an answer, it kind of almost just brings more questions, right? So a little bit of blockage feels like, right? A little bit of a need for some clarity, for some certainty. Yeah, let's put this into some context, okay? Let's see what these questions might be about. Let's see what the answers might be about. See, now we've got an 8 of Wands, so it kind of feels to me like you have all of these different options. All of these things are on the table for you. How are we choosing them? And it could be that we're really trying to invoke this, some sort of clarity, some sort of a spiritual insight in order to choose one of these. Now, this is a very good problem to have, right? Because the 8 of Wands is a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of outlets for you right now, a lot of different ways that you could go with your creative energy, your life energy, with your spirit. And see, we've got the Magician underneath it all. Any one of these paths would be very successful for you. We're trying to get that vision of the future to find out which one of these paths we should take. We don't want to do anything drastic. We don't want to do anything hasty. We don't want to make the wrong decision because... Yeah, see, and that's us. That's the union with our decision. This is us committed. We want to make sure that the decision is correct the first time because we don't want to have to change our mind. We don't want to go back and be like, that wasn't the right one, right? So we have all of these options on the table, and I feel like they all seem pretty good. But we don't want to jump at the first one that wakes us up, the first one that kind of sparks our enthusiasm or piques our interest a little bit. That's not the one to choose right away. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not, right? So I feel like you don't jump at the first opportunity, right? It's like, you're shopping for a car, you're shopping for a house. Maybe you're in the mood for a, romantic relationship. But we do have the Lover's card here. I feel like you're not just buying the first thing that the salesman shows you. And yeah, it may really make your heart start beating. It may really get you worked up. But we try to stay calm. We try to stay reasonable and think, okay, well, let me see a few more. And maybe we'll come back to that first one, but maybe not. Right? We want to see everything, even though maybe the first one really makes you want to just kind of jump into things. You just say, yes, I'll take it. Without seeing the rest of the inventory, how do you know this is the best one? There could be another one that makes you feel a little bit more, excited about it. So I don't know if this is something, if you are shopping for something, or if this is about a career choice, an investment opportunity, if you're making a big purchase like a home or like a car, or if this has something more to do with kind of where to put your passion, where to put your heart energy. Now, we don't have any water cards yet, so let's do a few more cards and see if we get any water. Oh, well, we don't have water, but we have the Empress at the end, so this really could be something here. This is you getting what you want and being very happy with your choice, okay? But the rest of the cards we see are fire and earth, with a little bit of air sprinkled in, right? And it's not that you're unsure about what your feelings are. You know what your feelings are. You know what you want. But the mind sometimes has a problem deciding which is the best course of action. Okay? So we can use the metaphor of, you're buying a house. And maybe you are. Maybe this is literal here. You know what you want. You know exactly what kind of house you want. You have expectations, right? You know what the perfect thing is going to be. There's a list, certain things that your house has to have, right? It's got to have maybe laundry, or it's got to have an open kitchen or something like this. I feel like you like to cook, right? I feel like that's something you enjoy. I wonder if even maybe you work from home, and so if you are looking for a new place, it's got to have something appropriate for that function, right? It has to be something that you can work from as well as live within. So there has to be enough space. Maybe you need an office. Maybe the internet connection, whatever, has to be a certain way. We know what the expectations are. We know what we want. We know what our requirements are. We know even what our no-nos are. The things that if it's there, nope, automatic no, right? Let's say the laundry's upstairs or downstairs or something. Nope, that's an automatic kind of no, right? The path to get here is a little bit difficult, right? Because we have to go through a lot of options. So you know what you want. You have this vision, you have this ideal, and really it's the Knight of Pentacles here that is looking at this future. The Knight of Pentacles always looks at the future, right? Is always looking at what the final product, the final vision is, and then figuring out, how do I make that a reality? How do I get there, right? Well, we get there by going through the air energy. And I think we should select the mystery card. I've been forgetting the mystery card because I go off on these rambling tangents, and I sometimes forget that we need a mystery card. This is going to be a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob, he's going to look out for that card for us. And that card will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. But if at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, put your prediction down in the comments. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right. Okay, so I like what we see in terms of major arcana energy. We've got the Mercury energy, the Magician. This is someone that can be patient, that is ready to figure all of this out and make the very best choice. See, the Lover's card's all about choice. Making the very best choice, using your higher genius, right? Using your higher mind, really thinking this through, but not in like an ego kind of intellect way, but like a higher kind of divine energy thinking process, one that's inspired by that kind of genius energy, that spiritual energy. Making the right choice to get your ultimate ideal. This is your paradise. This is your land of milk and honey. This is the relationship that you want. This is the house you want, the car you want, whatever it might be. The job you want, right? The future that you want. And this is beautiful and abundance. This is a situation, this future, when you make this choice, it is an inspired spiritual choice. When you make that choice, this future, that Empress energy, is really going to take care of you, right? It's going to be exactly what you need it to be. Yeah. And like I said, we don't have any water energy. It's not your heart that's the issue. Your heart knows what it wants. You know what you want, that Empress. The problem is sometimes we have doubts. Sometimes we have a Seven of Swords and we feel like we know how to get what we want. But we kind of say, well, that house over there looks pretty nice. I'll take that one. Well, no, wait a minute. That one had too many stairs, or not enough stairs, or whatever, wrong color. Something about it maybe you don't like, so you keep looking, right? And you look at a few more houses, or a few more cars, or you go on a few more dates with a few more different people, or whatever, to find someone that you really that that you can harmonize with, something that you can resonate with. When you find the perfect one, you'll know it, right? But until then, we go through a lot of options and we say, maybe not that, maybe not that. No, maybe not that. Yeah. So we've got our fire energy, quite a bit of fire energy. We don't have any water, like I said. We have a little bit of our air here. And we've got our earth energy. And I think this is a very, very good spread. Yeah. I think there is a sense of urgency here. I think that something is happening very quickly. The Eight of Wands is usually a card that talks about swiftness. This kind of is like an idea that comes on in the instant. And it's kind of like, when we get this card by itself, it kind of says, think fast. You know, it's like something's being thrown at you. You only have a millisecond to react to it, to figure out, well, should I just stand here and let it hit me? Should I move out of the way? Should I duck? Should I try to catch it? Right? So this is like, how's your reaction time? You know, and you've got all these different things that you can do. You can move to the side. You can duck. You can catch it. You can, you can just let it hit you in the face. The problem, though, with this energy is that there are so many possibilities. If we bring our mind into it, rather than trusting our bodies, right, to just kind of react or respond to the situation, we bring our mind into it and we think, okay, this fireball's coming at me. What should I do? I mean, that takes a long... We think thought is very quick, and it can be. Mercury, magician, is quicksilver, right? It can be a very kind of latency-free conductor of electricity, the mind. But sometimes we start thinking too much, you know? Sometimes the mind likes to think too much, and then the opportunity will pass us by, right? So I kind of feel like this is a situation where you have an opportunity maybe to buy something or to meet someone or to do something, and we don't want to think too much about it. But at the same time, we don't want to be too much Princess of Wands, where we just kind of jump into the first thing that comes our way. Oh, that house, I'll buy it. Well, no, let's wait a minute. We have to invoke our magician. We have to use our mind. We have to sit here and think, okay, right? So why is there then this feeling like a fireball's coming at you and you have to decide right now, hurry, go, what's your answer? Calm down, calm down. Maybe this is something, maybe this is what we have to work on right now, is this feeling of you've got to make a decision very quickly. You have to respond to something very quickly, or otherwise the opportunity is past you. Okay, let's not do that. I think this is a card that says, especially when we've got a Five of Wands here too, slow down. You're in control. You're the boss here. If you don't decide quick enough, okay, fine. If you make up your mind and that house or that option, that opportunity is still there, great. If it's not, that's great too, right? So we have to get over this feeling like, and I don't know if it's just from your own, it's kind of coming up from within you, this sense of anxiety and urgency, or if something's pressuring you from outside. If there's somebody in your life that's saying, you got to hurry up, make a decision, don't leave me hanging. Take all the time you need. You know, it's kind of like the more people try to rush you, the more you're going to take your time. You know, you see somebody like that on the freeway, right, where there's somebody's really tailgating you or something, right? And instead of speeding up, you just mosey a little bit more, right? I'm sure you've seen or done that driving. I think we all have in moments of, I don't know what to call that. But we don't feel pressured to then speed up, right? Don't let anybody pressure you to go faster or to make decisions faster. You're taking your time, and I think this is a big life-changing situation. You need to take your time. Yeah, because you have a lot of questions. You think, is this the right house for me? Yes. Oh, but What do I think about the stairs or the layout or the kitchen or the yard or the roof or how much money it is, right? Or if you're thinking of, again, you're looking for that special someone and you're going on dates or something, and don't be pressured into anything. Take your time. If you don't know if you want to call that person back, take your time. If they move on, good, right? Of course, we don't want to do what the Knight of Pentacles can sometimes do, and this is spend so much time looking at the ideal, entranced by this vision, that we end up really not doing anything. And the Knight of Pentacles quickly can become the Prince of Pentacles. It's they're kind of devolving. They're kind of getting stuck in this. They're getting stuck on that horse in that field, and they just never move. They become a fixture in the landscape, right? Because they're just so entranced by the vision. It's almost as if we love fantasizing about the future more than getting down and working and getting there, And that's understandable too, because we're staring at the Empress, right? We're entranced by that beautiful future, that beautiful life. This is what we want to look at it. We want to stare at it forever. We don't want to go here and have to do all this work. Fire, earth, fire. We got a little bit of air to deal with. No. I wish we could just teleport directly to our future, but we have to do all these steps in between. Okay? And like I said, what we really don't want to do is act hastily, be pressured into doing something that we'll regret, being impulsive, or even, that idea of just kind of attaching to the first thing we see. The first one that's just, wow, you're like, you go and you look at your first house. You're starstruck. Wow, this is the biggest, best house, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, right? I've never purchased a home. I'm not sure I ever will, but, you're going to look at a home for your first time, you think, whoa, this is huge, this is amazing. Yeah, maybe it is. Calm it down. This is your first one. The next one might even be more amazing, right? What we don't want to do is be so carried away by the first thing we see that we end up regretting our choice later, and then we've got to untie this knot or, figure out what to do. Because this is the Lover's card. This is where we're headed. This is the choice that we have to make. It might be a romantic thing for some of you, sure. It doesn't have to be. This card's all about choice, about a very big choice that is going to really change your life. And if you make the wrong choice, it's going to take some work to undo it. And we don't want that. So let's make sure this is the right choice. Continue asking the questions. Right? And let's invoke this magician energy. Let's realize that this is your show, right? You are the magician on stage creating your reality. This is your house that you're going to buy. You're the customer. In whatever situation you're in. Let's feel like you're the customer. The customer is always right. And if you don't want to buy something, you don't have to. And maybe life or your own kind of inner workings are acting like a pushy salesman. We have to remind ourselves that we are in control. You're the magician on stage doing this. Everything else is there as in a supporting role for you, right? The real estate agent or the salesperson or the car people or the, whatever it is. So this should hopefully create a little bit of calm-centeredness in you, a little bit of stillness, right? That this is your life and you are performing your magic and perfecting your life. You want that Empress to be as close to perfection, as close to the ideal as you can. And therefore, we have to feel like we are the head of this situation. We are the interface, and everything else is kind of behind the scenes. It's like the magician's the one on stage. Everything else, the lighting people, the directors, the sound people, the consultants, assistants, whatever, they're all behind the scenes. They're there in supporting roles. Okay, but let's not let this inflate our ego. We are also supporting roles for other people. Okay, everybody should have this perspective, and I think if we respect that about ourselves and we respect that about others, maybe we'll stop living in such a world where there is all this pressure for people and all this kind of, anxiety and all of this impulsive kind of rushing attitude. Yeah. Also, my Super Bowl prediction from yesterday was really, really close. I don't know if you know that. In my Sagittarius reading, I just wanted to point that out. But the Lover's energy. This is, again, that choice. And you're choosing something that is going to be right for you. It is part of your path, your destiny. It is your ultimate kind of purpose. This is a representative that when you make this choice, this is that Ace of Cups, that Two of Cups, right? Joining forces with that thing that is just the perfect symbol of that future. Yeah, whether it's a house, a person, a car, a job, a career move, a creative thing, something big for you. Now, let's go to the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really does help out the channel. We are so close to 200K. I can't believe it. It's because of all of you. And I really appreciate all of you, and I love all of you. Okay, we've got the Five of Wands here now. And this is the card of strife, right? This is the card of fighting. Now, is this saying that you're in a fight to secure this thing that you want? And, and then the kind of the mental clarity and the certainty will come afterwards? And then we'll get to our Empress. So this is almost like putting the cart before the horse. It's almost like we're going to fight to get this thing, then we're going to convince ourselves that we really want it, and we're going to then make this be our ultimate ideal, rather than kind of working from the top down. Maybe we should work from the top down. We know this is what we want. We're not going to compromise on what we want. Until we have this clarity of mind about it, we're not going to take that first step and make that commitment. And if we have to adjust, if we have to either defend ourselves against pushy energy, or if we have to assert ourselves in order to, to make this happen, that's what we'll do. But rather than fighting for something and then convincing ourselves we want it later. And I hope that makes sense, because we don't want to go bottom up here. We want to go top down. We want to have that Empress, that spiritual kind of, that certainty, that ideal, that paradise that we want. We want that to be influencing what we do now. And the card of strife, the Five of Wands, is all about fighting, right? When is it time to fight? When is it time to kind of defend, right? Defense, offense kind of thing. And we have to know how to regulate that energy, and that's part of regulating this anxiety too, right? We want to keep our head in the game, right? But we don't want to be anxious and be pressured. That's kind of when the other team will draw you off sides, We've got to maintain that control. And it kind of feels, so I watched half the Super Bowl yesterday just because I wanted to kind of know if my prediction would be correct. But it's kind of like the magician is that quarterback, right? And in this play, in this drive, you're the quarterback. And everything else is there to make sure you can do what you need to do right now. So you've got to make the call of what kind of energy is appropriate right now and what the move is. Against this Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is kind of like you're securing that thing, that investment. This is like, you're signing the papers for the house, or you've made the commitment, you've made the change, and now this is pretty much the certainty. You found the thing that you want, right? You found the thing that you want, and if we're going from top down again, you have that ideal, you have the clarity of mind, the certainty, and you have the focus. This is the car, this is the house, this is the job, this is the relationship or the person that you want to, spend your time with or whatever. We've found the object of our desire, right, so to speak. And then the Five of Wands comes into it, and we have to actually do the work to secure that, right? We have to do the work to secure that. Okay, Spirit's giving me someone with a B name. I don't know if it's a younger male energy. It's hard. I don't know. I feel like it's someone younger than you, but I don't know really much else about that person. But I'm getting a B name there somewhere. I don't know if it's has something to do with what you're working toward, or what this choice is all about. Let's talk about the Six of Swords for a moment, because this is the difficult part. And it's kind of a weird situation. It's kind of a catch-22, because can we ever really sustain a Six of Swords? The clarity, the certainty. Everything fits. Everything is right. Everything in this situation, like you see this house that you want, and everything seems perfect. Well, if you look at it long enough, you're going to start thinking Seven of Swords again, and there's going to be something wrong there, right? So when do we commit? When do we lock it in, right? Because if we think about it too much, we're going to go 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6. It's perfect. I see some things I don't like. It's perfect. I see some things I don't like. It's always going to be that way for everything. Maybe the mystery card will show that there is that inner certainty, that spiritual intuitive certainty that transcends the vacillating mind. Okay? And it could be that when we're in that moment of clarity and certainty, you feel it in your heart intuitively, that's when you lock it in. And you know that the mind's going to start having doubts and stuff later on and be like, oh, wow, are you sure you wanted to do that? Because we know how the mind works. But we're looking for that certainty that kind of goes beyond that mental energy, beyond the vacillating kind of intellect there. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the mystery card. Yeah, let's take a look here, see what Tiny Bob Ross has for us today. Obviously, I want an Ace of Cups, right? Or I want another Empress, or I want the Emperor. Something to show that we're locking this in, that we've found what we want, and we're ready to commit. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, a Nine of Swords. It's not really what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. But this is showing this is showing what we were talking about with the mind, with the 7, 6, 7, 6. And if that's where we're going to stay, if we're going to find something, seems perfect, but I found a bunch of flaws in it, we're never going to be happy. We're never going to make that choice, make that commitment. There's always going to be something to criticize about our choices, right? If it's a house, we're going to find a flaw in every house, and then we're ending up here in this Nine of Swords where we never find a house we like. There's something wrong with everything, right? And we don't want to fall into this. I think this is a warning, and kind of an urgent warning that says, don't do this. I feel like this is kind of what's happening now. With the Seven of Swords and that Eight of Wands, it feels like we're kind of rushing, but then there's this anxiety because we're just finding flaws in everything. And maybe the anxiety is causing us to kind of be like, well, no, I don't know about this one. I don't like these certain things about it. Let's tap into that higher thinking, right? That divine energy, that spiritual insight and certainty that we get with the Magician card in order to not fall down this pit of despair. This is a real pit, right? Because we're losing sleep over it. And this is even after you make your decision, we're losing sleep over it because the mind is going to say, oh, that was the wrong thing to do. It's the mind, that's how it works, right? So we've got to recognize that and try to transcend that. Now, there's always going to be doubts and things like this. But if we recognize it for what it is and we get that kind of higher mental, psychic perspective, then we can see the workings and the vacillating of the intellect. Yeah. And we're not going to fall into that pit. We're not going to fall for that trap. Yeah. So I feel like this is more important than even getting the Ace. I don't think we need the Ace of Cups. I don't think we need the water energy. You know what you want. And when you see it, you will feel it. Even though the mind might be trying to pick it apart and criticize it. But that's what the mind does. Right? I think this is good energy for you. We've got to focus here. All right. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, click on the link up in the corner, or there's one down in the video description. New readings for Cancer every Tuesday and Friday. But I'm here every day. Just come on back, see me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Okay, I like to see how widespread, how global our community is. I really do like that. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.